The Webster's Dictionary defines privacy as the state or condition of being free from being observed or disturbed by other people. What happens to that privacy once it's applied to the internet? In today's special report, we'll discuss privacy as it applies to the internet. This includes collection of data, laws, benefits, risks, and the future of privacy. Many areas of daily life have been changed due to technology. Starting from the 20th century, technology has been evolving at an ever increasing pace. Everywhere around the world, technology is being used to improve the daily lives of millions. As time passes, information relating to the identity of a user has become more and more important, especially when it comes to the internet. There is a cost that comes with this, and it has to do with privacy. In May of 2013, former CIA employee Edward Snowden shocked the world by releasing thousands of documents depicting the widespread surveillance efforts of the National Security Agency on the American people. According to The Guardian and the New York Times, this was in collaboration with Australia, Canada, and the United Kingdom. To some, such activities was a violation of the Fourth Amendment. Surveillance was being conducted mostly over the internet. This raises the question, what is privacy when applied to the internet? Although surveillance has been practiced for as long as we have existed, the advent of technology has made it easier for governments to spy on its citizens. On the internet, it's not just the government that is tracking everyone. All the major companies are doing it too. According to David Crow from Kentucky State University, Google is the market leader when it comes to collecting information. With the ever-increasing services being offered for free, Google has the capabilities to collect as much information as the NSA does. Unlike the NSA, however, companies such as Google, Amazon, and Facebook use information collected as a way to cater advertisement to the user. When the price for using proprietary services of major companies is privacy, should the average person even expect it on the internet? Privacy is important for several reasons. Privacy helps put a limit on the power of governments and big companies over the individual. There are ethical concerns when it comes to privacy. A person can be seriously damaged from the release of sensitive information. This issue of privacy is not limited to the United States. It is a global issue. The European Union also faced ethical issues raised by privacy as applied to the internet. Although the United States and the EU share similar views when it comes to the individual's right to privacy, the way that they both go about regulating it are very different. The laws that govern information collection in the US are very broad in scope, and the more detailed laws are left to the state. There are federal laws that protect medical and financial information. As for the rest, it is left up to the user to opt out of certain services. The EU works in the exact opposite way. The main document governing information on the internet in the EU is the Data Protection Directive. This gives the user certain rights over their information. A company must obtain consent from the user before gathering their information. In contrast to the Western ideas of privacy is China. There is no national data protection agency or laws that prevent mass data collection. At the time of this video release, the BBC is reporting on a pilot program that is being conducted by 8 Chinese companies to issue a social credit score. With this new system, all user transactions and information on the internet would generate a social credit score to determine how trustworthy a person is. All data would be considered, from video game habits to what types of baby diapers are being used. The goal is to have this entire system in circulation by the year 2020. There are ways that the individual can protect their privacy on the internet, but it is impossible to be completely anonymous. Most commercial web browsers, such as Google's Chrome, come with a private browsing mode. This mode clears information stored on a user's computer about their whereabouts. However, the websites they visit and their internet service provider can still keep track of their activities. There are privacy-focused technologies such as Tor browser that attempt to protect the user from revealing most of their personal data. Tor works by routing the data through many locations, thereby masking the original location that the data came from.
This is similar to a concept of losing a pursuer in a crowded city by taking a roundabout way to your destination.
As mentioned earlier, technology is moving at a blistering pace. Going through all the steps of hiding identity won't prevent a company or government to determine a user's identity by behavior patterns. Computer scientists have begun working on algorithms to identify a person by using stylometric analysis, a method of using unique writing styles to identify a user on anonymous forums. While some are concerned about privacy on the internet, a quick look at most social media websites would imply that others aren't so concerned about it. On websites such as Facebook, users post pictures of their everyday occurrences, pictures in which geotagging data that gives away their location are included. There are text posts that detail recent purchases, movies seen, or video games played. Many users are growing up with social media as a fact of life. Should privacy be expected when sensitive information is freely given? What happens to this data, whether collected from social media or scoured by the NSA? The massive amount of information collected falls under the category of big data. Big data is the large amounts of data that is collected by companies or governments in order to be analyzed by a computer. The analysis of this data reveals patterns, trends, and associations, especially those relating to human behavior. These trends have a variety of uses. The Federal Trade Commission released a report of benefits and risks of big data in early 2016. In the FTC report, there is mention that the benefits of collecting data are being weighed against the challenges of privacy. These benefits include tailored healthcare based on patterns or tailored education based on patterns. In general, the benefits deal with the convenience of privacy.
The flip side of this is using data as a way to discriminate against certain users based on their socioeconomic standing. In her book Big Data, The End of Privacy, Ira Rubinstein asserts that finding the right balance between privacy risks and big data rewards may be the biggest public policy challenge of our time.
Big data is the future of privacy on the internet. China's social credit system won't work without big data. Google won't be able to predict a user's search item or deliver catered advertisements without big data. YouTube won't be able to recommend videos without big data. There is a level of convenience that is offered by letting companies collect private information. Whether you are in the European Union and give consent, or in the US and decide not to opt out, or even in China where you don't have a choice, information and privacy is the currency for convenience. In a world where technology is simply moving too fast for lawmakers to keep up, privacy on the internet will eventually be a thing of the past.